Donald Trump. Rome burning in man form. The imploding star that is Donald Trump. The owner of what you might describe as resting rich face. Donald Trump essentially opened his mouth and exhaled a swarm of locusts. Only one major international humiliation from recent history comes to mind, and it's the one standing behind that podium. You cannot say Trump isn't a visionary. For a long time, he was the only one who envisioned himself as a presidential nominee. He is basically what happens if The Secret gets into the wrong hands. Donald Trump. You look like you came out of a clogged drain at the Wonka factory, and you know what? That's great. I think that's fine. Anything Trump's tiny fingers touch turn into an ex-wife or an abandoned casino. Donald Trump, America's walking, talking brush fire. The only way Trump could be described as warm is if you're feeling leftover tanning bed heat radiating from his skin. And Donald Trump, with Vanilla Ice, Jose Canseco, and Willem Dafoe. And what is Donald Trump if not a mixture of the authenticity of Vanilla Ice, the likability of Jose Canseco, and the terrifying facial expressions of Willem Dafoe? But Budweiser beer is a lot like Trump. They're both known for their terrible taste and frothy heads. They're both the colour of burnt urine, and every once in a while they both seem to change their name for no fucking reason whatsoever. Trump of the East. A title previously held by a burnt wonton covered in scarecrow pubes. Now, Donald Trump wants to build a wall on the US-Mexican border, and based on his tone, he also wants to fuck that wall. Donald Trump, I would say, is an insane magic trick if I thought his tiny fingers could wrap all the way around a magic wand. So, actual photo. Actual photo. Trump sounds like an angry villager running through the town square yelling, "Werewolves, run for your lives!" Though some, I assume, are good werewolves, but they're here to kill you, with maybe a few exceptions, but mostly werewolves. Run! Run from the werewolves love me, and I love werewolves, but they're here to kill all of us. The crime rates among immigrants once here are relatively tiny digits, which is something Donald Trump should frankly understand, given that he has 10 of them attached to his minuscule wrist. Donald Trump, an ill-fitting suit full of chickens coming home to roost. Strap in, because we're in for a bumpy ride, folks. Donald Trump is one flaming guitar player away from turning this campaign into Fury fucking Road. But Donald Trump. Even as primary voters embrace Trump, the Republican establishment is rejecting him like a transplanted organ, which is fitting, as Trump does resemble a kidney dropped on the floor at a supercut.
He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
That's right. Donald Trump just talked about his dick during a presidential debate. A dick which I presume looks like a Cheeto with a cheese dust rubbed on. I presume. That's a guess. A Trump rally being cancelled due to violence is the most predictable thing to happen in this campaign since Donald Trump mentioning the size of his dick. Of course those things happened. Of course they did. Donald Trump. And I say that knowing that every time his name is said out loud, he has a shattering orgasm. Donald Trump is America's back mole. It may have seemed harmless a year ago, but now that it's gotten frighteningly bigger, it is no longer wise to ignore it. Trump. It's the sound produced when a mouthy servant is slapped across the face with a wad of $1,000 bills. Trump. It's the sound of a cork popping on a couple's champagne anniversary, the date renovations in the wine cellar were finally completed. Drumpf. Yes. Fucking Drumpf. And Drumpf is much less magical. It's the sound produced when a morbidly obese pigeon flies into the window of a foreclosed Old Navy. Drumpf. It's the sound of a bottle of store-brand root beer falling off the shelf in a gas station mini-mart.